Simon & Schuster Audio presents Out on a Limb. Selected Writing, 1989 to 2021, by Andrew Sullivan. Read by the author.
Introduction. My first day in journalism was my last day of college. My dad picked me up in Oxford on a Sunday morning, and my summer internship at the Daily Telegraph began that afternoon. In 1984, still just 20 years old, I entered the dark and vast building on the original Fleet Street, the place Evelyn Waugh had made eternal in his satirical novel about journalism, Scoop. My boss was Bill Deeds, a man widely deemed to be the model for the character William Booth at the center of Waugh's work. But the acting editor that afternoon was a man called T.E. Utley, a renowned high Tory intellectual who was completely blind, chain-smoked, and wore a patch over one eye, like a pirate. I'd expected some sort of orientation, filling out some forms, settling into a desk, first-day bureaucracy. Instead, I was instructed to write the third of 3 editorials, anonymously, which gave me some relief, but quickly, which didn't. It was mid-afternoon. I had until 7 p.m. to finish, and I had no subject matter. It happened to be the day of an annual festival commemorating the Tall Puddle Martyrs, a group of early union organizers in 1834 who had been convicted of organizing a fraternity to resist a wage cut, and subsequently pardoned. The paper needed around 600 words on a subject I had absolutely no knowledge of. "Good luck, dear boy," Utley declared. "You can research it in the cuttings." And so I rushed into a room full of filing cabinets in which every Telegraph story had been cut out and catalogued under various subjects. Sure enough, a few articles about the history of the Tall Puddle heroes were there, and using all the skills my Oxford training in extemporaneous bullshitting had given me, I hacked out a piece comparing the noble objectives of early unions with the excesses of the late 20th century kind. I typed it out on 3 pages on an electric typewriter with blue carbon paper between them. Around 6:30 p.m., I read the editorial to Utley, who was pacing in his office, the cigarette lingering in his hands. He walked slowly from one wall until he met the other side, and then turned around and did the same again. There was a grey line of ash about 3 feet above the floor, permanently marking where his cigarette had grazed the wall over the years. "Fine, dear boy."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?